Awesome Toad 21 here, along with the latest and greatest from Microsoft, the Surface Book 2. It's not really the latest, but still, this is really interesting. So what I have here is a 16 gigabyte, 1 terabyte in size with an Intel Core i7 7th generation. This tablet goes for about $3,000 and is very unique once I look at it. So one of the things I do notice with this device is that it's a lit up keyboard here. When you close it right here, we do have the back titanium. I do have problems with these because of my previous Surface devices. They do smudge. You have a camera here with 2 sensors and the Surface Pen. Now this video will be quite a bit longer than my usual ones because there's a lot in this little device. So one thing I do notice with the Surface Book 2 is that it comes with Windows 10. Now this is the full version of Windows 10, unlike other devices that might have are like Windows 10S that's coming out, and this is very high tech. Now if you go into it, let's go check out what she has up her sleeve through the control panel, which Windows 10 has downgraded. So we have to do this. Go to the control panel and go ahead and see what we can do with this. So I like to do large icons so I can get into the system easier, and Windows 10 does not have. So we do have these 16 gigs of RAM, if it actually clears up a bit. i7 2.6 gigahertz processor, 64-bit. So pretty much that's how we have it here. On the sides we have the Surface connector right there, HDMI port, mini, an SD card slot here, and 2 RAM USB 3.0 ports. So that's pretty much the exterior, and so this thing has the 2-in-1 availability. So if you want to, number one thing, if you pull up on your screen, you probably would break the device. You have to hit this eject button, which is right next to the delete, slight left to it. You hit that, or hold that, and when it's green, I missed the opportunity. Alright, so when that is green, it detaches like that, and now you have a tablet. This is quite a hefty size tablet, so this would be a comparable size to iPad Pro, and look at the thinness of that. Now that I find astonishing. Let me be right back, because I'm going to show you the thinness to this compared to my Surface 3, which I will be upgrading into a Surface Pro 3 that has just about as much specs as that. This is the Surface 3, as you've seen in other videos, my personal tablet. And now watch this. We're going to put a head-to-head. And look at that. Just look right there. You can instantly tell that that's thinner. So if I put this over here, and I move the keyboard out of the way, we can go ahead and compare these two thinness. And just look at that. They're actually about the same size, but this compared to this. 2 gigs of RAM, 64 gigs in storage. A terabyte of storage, and 16 gigs of RAM. And yet, it's that thin. Just as thin as my Surface 3. Now that is what I find interesting. But let's go ahead and put the Surface Book back into its designated slot. And now it's back to your laptop, essentially. Now I like that actually very much. And so we could change this around. So there we have it with that. So let's go ahead and do some basic things. We can't go into network due to the orders of whom this belongs to. We don't want it to go on any Wi-Fi whatsoever. So let's go ahead and just putz around with this for a bit and see what we have. So good thing we could do is test out the Surface Pen. So the Surface Pen is really well known for doing multiple stuff. So if you hold this here, you do that, and it could do insights. We could just do that. You could do a little note. See if I can do my signature on this. And not good, but nah. So there we go, kind of a signature. So you can get rid of that and make a bigger one, trash that. So you can do that. Coming here, the start menu, and look, it reads it just before it hits. So that's pretty cool. So what can we do with the Surface Pen? So that enables that. If you hit this button here, so that actually will take a snapshot, and then you can draw. So if you want blue, we could draw around here. You can take this and highlight this part. So you could just change all the colors. You can make the size of it big, minuscule. So yeah, you can trash that, save it, cancel. So that is a cool feature I like. But the Surface Pen, I want to delete that. What is my computer doing up there? Just loading random stuff apparently. So pretty much that's what we have with that. Now let's look into the design frame of here. So we do have a plastic screen, pretty sturdy plastic, nothing too fancy there. We do have an actual touchpad. Okay, did integrate that instead of right clicking. Does it actually right click? So yeah, so it does 2 fingers to enable a right click, and also will still do the right click. That's something Chrome won't do if you do Chromebooks and stuff. Let's see what actually default applications we can actually find on this. So we have, I want to see if we got pen. We have Code Writer, Remote Desktop. I'm right now looking for the pen, stuff we could do with the pen. Surface Pen is very cool. Why is that over here? So I'm looking around, seeing what I can find. Alright, so yeah, so pretty much, let's see. I think Sticky Notes also has the pen UI. You can type, as you can see right there. Or you can go ahead and change the color of your pen and just say so yeah, the handwriting isn't that good on this. But yeah, there you go. So here you can change your theme. You could do all these other stuff. Do you want to delete? Yeah, I want to delete that. This does come up with everything else Windows 10. Okay, this is, for some reason, I want this to go ahead and swipe, but I still have to do that. Like, they should make a pen integration instead of switching to tablet mode. That's a new flaw I dislike about this. I'm coming into the 10 menu, but if I do engage tablet mode, I want to know how more friendly this pen becomes. Ooh, I still can't get to the, but if I do that, I could get that, but I can't get the pen. So I'm not liking that right there. Going into the settings, you could access that through there. You still get the basic Windows 10 settings, but I wish you could still do more with this pen, honestly. It's kind of a pain in the butt to use the pen other than stuff you would use a pen for. Like, the pen is very comfortable in the hand. and it does all this other stuff, but I just want there to be more integration with the UI. I'm actually a Windows 10 insider, so I can see if I can make a claim to put that integration in. I was actually one of the ones who helped bring back the sort or the transparent bottom instead of Windows Arrow, because originally they just had a solid color in the bottom. But in back like March 2015, yeah, so when I'm looking around this, I really see a basic, can I do other stuff? But alright, I can move tiles around. That's kind of better. What is this? I got better or something. So yeah. You could easily, wow. You could do that. But I just want to use the pen to use Windows. Instead, I have to go back to the old technique. Yeah, I gotta bring this up because I honestly think this is hurting Windows 10. I want more to do with this pen. There should be more with the OS. That's my biggest complaint. I don't know if I can give the pen a pass because it just looks like it can do notepads and stuff, and stuff on Microsoft Edge. Since this is a very high-end device, I want to go ahead and see what else I can do. I want to look for flaws on the tablet in the 2-in-1, and I want to see and give it my rating of good, bad, so-so. But I do have to say the pen is definitely going to lower my rating because I expected a $3,000 tablet to have not only the best specs in the world and to have the best UI with the features. Now, I am quite a snob when it comes to rating brand new products because I expect them to be top of the line. However, I do have to say there's good stuff to this. The design of it. The slim design of the Surface Book is just astonishing. Every corner of it just glides and is sleek to match the OS. That is a good upside. So, and if you look here, you got all of the proper ventilation throughout the device. You got a nice hinge instead of a cheap old thing. You have this rotating hinge that rotates with the device. So are you really wanting to pay $3,000 for this? This is the top of the line, but there is some things. But if you look at the cheaper end stuff, their pens barely allow you to do anything at all. And I mean that, right? They might be $1,000 or $700 for the same specs, but they're going to be much bigger. They're going to be clunky because they have to cram all this. Well, part of the reason why it's more expensive because it just has the name Microsoft, which if you notice that in the modern market that certain devices will be more expensive just because it's one of those brands, meaning everybody must buy it and people will actually pay $3,000 for this. But to be honest, it is a very nice looking device. If you go ahead and take this to school or work, everybody's going to comment, "Whoa, nice tablet," or something. But honestly, the design blows me away. The design really just takes in fact that just gets rid of the fact that the pen, just picture there's no pen there. You have all you need. You have the device. You have very fancy looking device. So this is pretty much what I would say the Rolex of watches. But this is like Microsoft's top of the line 2-in-1. I am personally astonished with this. I don't know about you, but they cram a whole lot in this little thing. And the keyboard doesn't even have any of the motherboard components that the tablet does. Just keep in mind about that. That's what really gets me astonished. But this is so fast. I'm so doing good. And it just blows you away just to realize that this is how well they do. So that's pretty much my whole opinion on this. This is a great tablet other than the downside of the pen. So out of my ratings of how good this thing is, I would give it a 4 out of 5 stars based on what I was giving of the criteria and how it works and stuff. This is Awesome Toad 21 here with the latest tech review. Be sure to subscribe, leave in the comments. Have a nice day.